Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with the kill count, and we're back to the public domain stuff. We got Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Yep. The public domain Winnie-the-Pooh horror movie. It got a sequel. I don't know how, but good lord, they're doing it again. You'd think they learned the first time. Nope. Where there's money to be made, they'll do anything, I guess. Let's just get this mess over with. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Here we go. Sorry, just remember the first one. I don't think this is gonna be good.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the
Hey,
victims
James, how
in
you
all our
doing?
favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, released in 2024. The first Blood and Honey received awful reviews, which were well-deserved. I did not like that movie. Still, it managed to make back almost 7 times its budget, so production quickly began on a sequel with more money behind it. To say it's an improvement would be like saying American Psycho 2 was a step down.
This is unacceptable.
Pooh 2 is a better movie in every single way imaginable, with better effects, a better story, and way better acting. The first film felt like a generic slasher, where the killer just happened to be wearing a rubber Winnie-the-Pooh mask. Here, these so-called crossbreeds feel much more like the human-animal hybrids they're supposed to be. The increased budget goes a long way towards the original creature designs and some impressive gore. I still don't really like this movie. I would have preferred something campy and fun. For a Winnie-the-Pooh horror flick, it takes itself way too seriously. I'm glad there's more of a story than just chicks in a cabin, but most of the scenes fleshing it out feel rote and pablum. In fact, there's too much familiarity all around, with a lot of similarities to recent and classic horror movies. Even if they're coincidental, it feels stale. But there is actually plenty to enjoy this time around. Chief among them, Scott Chambers, who takes over the role of Christopher Robin. He proves to be very likable and shockingly good, especially when it comes to conveying how much he's affected by social ostracism. I'd almost say he's acting like he doesn't realize what movie he's in, but he definitely does, since he also produced both Blood and Honeys under the name Scott Jeffrey. Way to go, guy. I love it when people create their own opportunities to showcase their talents. Winnie 2 is way more graphic than the first film, and has some flourish to the direction by Reese Frake Waterfield, who returns to continue his twisted childhood universe. There are a bunch of Easter eggs laying the groundwork for future TCU films, and if they're as good as this movie, you know what? I think it'll be alright. Now, today, in lieu of a sponsor, I want to talk about Dead Meat. We have been having a banner year with at least one kill count every single week. But Dead Meat is so much more than just kill counts. Over on Dead Meat Presents, our other channel, I host a Monday morning live stream every week that goes over horror news and Dead Meat updates. You'll hear all about the latest horror movies, games, and television series, while also hearing our company's plans for the future. Plus, it's a fun hangout sesh that gets a little silly sometimes. Dead Meat Presents is also home to the Dead Meat Podcast, Chelsea's show that I co-host, which comes out every other week. We review movies, play games, talk about horror history, sometimes do interviews. In fact, this Wednesday is an interview we did with Matthew Lillard. Holy shit! You do not want to miss that, so tune in to see it. Presents is also home to interviews we get to do with other horror folk, other series like They Talk, Production Tales from Hell, and What's Your Favorite Scary Movie, the Horror Royal Rumble every January, which is one of my favorite things that we do, and the Dead Meat Horror Awards every spring, which is probably my favorite thing we do. We've also got live streams of all varieties and plenty of other stuff, including new series we'll be launching in 2025. We also just launched our website, which has been in development for like over a year. The live stream audience knows. This thing is fully custom. It was too advanced for us to use like Wix, mostly because of the movie search bar that lets you find any movie we've ever covered on Dead Meat in any capacity. That means kill count, podcast, Patreon reward, interview. Any film we've talked about can be found here. You can sort the films by decade, horror subgenre, the kinds of content it has, all sorts of things. And the website will also help you find where you can watch the movie so you can fully enjoy the related Dead Meat content. I mentioned Patreon, which is always a good way to support us. A single $1 a month gets you kill counts with all the gore unblurred and the sponsor segments removed for a more streamlined episode. $5 a month is a great deal. It gets you commentary tracks to watch alongside a movie and bonus audio-only podcast episodes where Chelsea, Gressel, and I talk about non-horror stuff. It also gets you kill counts a day early. Damn good deal. There are more rewards for $10, $20, and $50 a month, including a cameo-like personalized video from me at that top tier. So check out what we have to offer and join the Patreon family if you want to. Finally, at long last, our merchandise is back online. Show off your support in public with Dead Meat shirts and apparel featuring our logo. Even better, join the Dead Meat video crew with the black polos we wore when we covered the VHS franchise. A lot more merch is on the way, so keep an eye out for updates. We're just glad to have it back finally. We've spent 2024 building things back up after an admittedly lackluster 2022 and 2023. We hope you've noticed and are excited for the other things we have in store, because 2025 is when we break out with all kinds of new expansions. All right, now back to the Pooh. Can our public domain protagonists escape another sticky situation?
Let's go find out
and get to the kills.
So, I mean, I understand where the first one kind of slipped up, you know, lack of budget, but I mean, still, the fact they gained that much, holy crap. Well, I'll hold my judgment for that, since apparently James is really liking it now. But I'm not too sure if they're going to continue improving, or they're just going to... I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'll try to hold off my judgment, but I guess we'll see what the future holds for these guys. But anyway, off to Blood and Honey 2, let's see the kills.
The movie begins with a quote
Here we go.
saying not to be a homebody. Go outside, step into some poo. We get another animated prologue with more solid narration that explains the fallout from the first film.
The 100-acre massacre, as it came to be known, sent shockwaves through the quiet community of Ashdown.
Though Christopher Robin survived, he soon fell under suspicion for the murders, turning him into a Pooh Bear pariah, a little like Halloween Ends Laurie Strode. Still, some locals believed his tale and searched for the human-animal hybrids by burning their way across this map, which I really love. This created a sort of Pooh Bear parallel.
Unknowingly, both Christopher and Pooh were facing the same ostracism.
Damn, Pooh looking like he has an H problem. And I don't mean honey, although he also has a honey problem. With 100 Acre Wood, now 100 Acre Fire, Pooh and Piglet, who they say survived even though I counted him as a kill, rude, sought out other friends, aka other characters who have since entered the public domain. After that intro, we don't waste any time getting into it. We're already in a camper full of dead meat. Mia, Jamie, and Alice are having a lakeside slumber party when Alice becomes our first victim, getting stabbed through the wall with a pole. The party animals have arrived. Pooh Bear slams the door on Jamie's hand, leaving her with some fucked up thingies. He's just really screwing with their vibes, man. Flipping their RV like he were a tiny home renovator. Props for actually doing this too. I love stunts involving real vehicles. Mia jungle gyms her way out, but Jamie gets stuck in like the saddest fire I have seen in quite some time. Damn, that's worse than Freddy's Dead, and that shit was made 33 years ago. Mia tries to escape on a golf cart decked out like that rickshaw in Monkey Man, but a bear trap roadblock stops her so Pooh can catch up. Aw, and then we get an explosion? What a flex, considering that was the first movie's big finale. Pooh uses the trap to drag Mia away before curb stomping her remaining limbs one by one. It is brutal. He's hitting like at least an 8 on the Art the Clown sadism.
Yeah, pretty much.
This whole sequence is way more effective than anything in the first movie. It's so much more intense and sadistic. And wow, does Pooh look better. Remember that mask from the first one? Good God. Although new Pooh does kind of look like Stretch Armstrong wearing a muscle suit sometimes. A burnt up Jamie washes ashore just in time to see Mia kiss the bear trap and her life goodbye. Our first new crossbreed, Owl, isn't pleased with Jamie's lack of kill graphic. The molted monster pecks fun at her roasted marshmallow face.
Who's the abomination now?
He's having a hoot as he grabs a nearby log and plants it straight through her body, killing her. The whole scene's a very loud horror statement to make, all done before the movie's title card. You get it this time, guys. We catch up with Christopher Robin in a cozy therapy session. He lives in isolation with his parents Alan and Daphne and his little sister Ella.
My name is Bunny.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Bunny.
Guess that little girl's already reading Mona Awad. Ella Bunny's built a scary berry to protect her family from Pooh and pals. She used a teddy that belonged to Christopher's twin brother Billy, who went missing several years ago. You know, every time one of these scenes with Christopher Robin starts to feel sappy or slow, Scott Chambers makes it worth it with his acting. He's got a cute relationship with his on-screen sister.
I might be like a little bit weird, right?
Big bit.
Big bit? Really?
Chambers took over the role of Christopher at director Reese Frake Waterfield's request, and he does a great job. Christopher's only mates are his childhood friends Finn and Lexi, the latter of whom he's got a little crush on. He's hesitant to get too close though, since being in his orbit makes them targets for 100-acre truthers. The cops don't have time to help deal with this petty vandalism. They're too busy investigating the camper casualties. One of them is played by Philip Fillmar, last seen on the Kill Count as the Wig Man in Sweeney Todd. While they try to figure out what's happening, a trio of locals set off to go a monster hunting in the woods. Wow, Look at all these magic
jeez.
hour shots. That's, that's great for them. Owl sees them and brings the news back to a treehouse hidey hole where he convinces their head Pumbaa to go on the offensive. He argues they can't just hide and trust men to stay away.
Never trust them ever again.
Yo, what? Now you got Piglet talking? That's just weird, man. It makes him feel more like just like a guy, you know? I dig having Owl as a mouthpiece, though, played by Marcus Massey, who was in the first film sans makeup as Colt. Actors Ryan Oliva and Eddie McKenzie take over the roles of Pooh and Piglet, respectively. They all seem to really get into their characters.
Well, Owl is the wise one.
Piglet was always one of my favourite characters, so it's a dream come true to play the little porky chap.
With their upgraded budget, the filmmakers hired Sean Harrison and Paula Ann Booker Harrison to do effects. Their company, the Prosthetics Studio, has worked on the likes of Harry Potter and Star Wars. They did a full redesign of the characters and carried out a higher level of prosthetic work. Great work all around. Way to improve. The Pooh crew makes moves on the shotgun-toting vigilantes. One dude, Shepard, goes to check out a noise, allowing his buddies to get attacked by Piglet. The group's leader, Daryl, manages to disarm the hog before fuck off.
Oh!
Shit!
Wow!
Piglet's head off.
Bye!
Yes, I'll count it as a kill again. Even though, like, how can I trust you anymore, movie? The gunshot distracts Shepard long enough to receive a baseball bat beating. Then Pooh slits the Shep to shell him out to the couch. As long as he doesn't sit up the chin. Pooh Bear attacks the other two, setting off Daryl's shotgun in his buddy's face. He then steals the boomstick and shoves it straight out through the top of his head.
Wow.
The crossbreeds depart, but they're one kill graphic short, since the third guy, Aaron, is still alive. He manages to march his half face to a clearing before collapsing. The next morning, Christopher's working his job as a nurse at the local hospital.
This gives me like a sharp little scratch.
No.
No, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good, okay?
He's great with the kids, but that doesn't matter according to his boss.
We've had complaints.
What?
About me?
And with all this stuff that's happened around the horror film that's come out.
What now? Yep, in the world of this movie, the first Blood and Honey is an in-universe film based on Christopher's testimony. Chambers compared it to the Stab movies within the Scream franchise.
Isn't this movie about your boyfriend?
Yes, but it's all lies.
I actually think this is brilliant. It explains why he's played by a new actor and why the crossbreeds look so different. It keeps what happened in the first movie mostly canon, but explains away its shittiness by saying what we saw was a schlocky adaptation.
It's porn time.
The hospital doesn't want the
That actually is a good way to denounce your first film and be like, yeah, okay, that was just an in-universe movie that we had to use. So now, we got bigger, better, baby. And honestly, what they did with Stab and the Scream franchise, I'm actually kind of curious. Like, okay, I don't know if they're going to do like the exact same excuse, but I mean, I hope not. I mean, one time you can use that whatever you want, but if you keep using it like what you did with Scream, yeah, that ain't gonna work well. Would explain the crappy facts too. So I'll give him credit. That was actually a pretty good way to write it off. Nice job.
negative PR, so Christopher gets fired and given his traditional creepy severance stare. Man, what the heck is with that janitor? Go find out what color Miss Lippy's car is, dude. On Chris's way out, the injured hunters wheeled in. Christopher recognizes Aaron as an old schoolmate. Not sure how, given half his face looks like a Stouffer's lasagna. But since Aaron didn't die, let's find someone who will. Sure, a father bird watching with his son. Yeah, that works. The kid catches an eyeful of evil owl and scurries off while the dad is snatched like he were a passing through. We later see the crossbreeds littering his limbs into the river. Some of them look like they were made in Blender, but I will hand it to them. This overhead shot is pretty cool. Christopher returns to therapy to talk through recent events. Though it's not spelled out in the movie, his therapist is Mary Darling, mother of Wendy Darling, the character from Peter Pan. Actress Teresa Banham is set to reprise the role in Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, which Chambers wrote and directed. Good for him. Mary tells Christopher to explore his unconscious mind so he can learn the truth about Pooh. She uses metronome hypnotism to delve into his repressed memories, where we learn that Pooh actually looked like, oh my god, that's what he looked like? Okay, I fucking love this Pooh. Why does he kind of look like Squidbillies? Young Pooh, which sounds like the name of a rapper from 2006, was played by Peter D'Souza Feoni, who had already been in another horror film. He was in The Pope's Exorcist as the kid who gets possessed.
I'm fucking raised.
Turns out Christopher's stupid kid brain rose-tinted the grisly details
Ew.
and made all these memories happy. Then he goes a layer deeper and remembers the birthday party that his brother Billy disappeared from. After running into the woods together,
Okay.
Christopher saw his brother getting kidnapped in a van. Wait, are
Why?
you serious, dude? We're
They
doing
got vans?
full-on Five Nights here? This seems like a blatant Raglan ripoff.
Yeah, they kinda did.
Especially since they named another character Freddy.
Babysitting that little shit Freddy the next couple nights.
But in my
And
interview
the
with the
knife
filmmakers,
hands, don't forget
they
that.
swore it was a coincidence.
With Five Nights at Freddy's, I was literally, when I saw the whole kid backstory, and I was like, oh no.
Blood and Honey 2 filmed in early September, a full month before FNAF came out in October. So, as unlikely as it may seem, I'm inclined to believe them. Christopher talks about his recovered memory with his parents that night, who mentioned several other kidnappings happened around the same time. To investigate, Chris hits up a fake search engine named after Pooh author A.A. Milne and scrolls past a teaser for the upcoming Bambi the Reckoning. He finds a report on Dr. Arthur Gallup, a geneticist who disappeared after his home mysteriously burnt down. With all this info in his head, he's kept awake all night by bed flashes. It's almost like we hear the secrets that he keeps when he's tossing in his sleep. Elsewhere, the cops enter a tree like they were trying to get to the Upside Down. They finally found the Crossbreed's dingy den / Build-A-Dude workstation, which includes a decapitated head amongst the honeypots. A side door unlocks, revealing at least 4 more bodies hanging from the ceiling like this were Halloween Horror Nights. This room's been locked for most of the movie, and now we get to see why.
Fuck it, let's bounce.
That's my line.
It's Tigger, who slashes his way through 2 of the bobbies before running the last one down off screen. Blood and Honey 2 had 10 times the budget of the original, but considering the first film only cost £20,000, that's still not a lot. It was indie to the bone, man, with Frank Waterfield and Chambers wearing a lot more hats than they planned. This ranged from Frank Waterfield playing Tigger's hands for B-unit close-ups, to Chambers having to take care of wardrobe when their set designer / costumer dropped out 3 days before production began.
I was sat in a cafe until
why did they drop out?
time, doing 150 ravers costumes.
No matter this movie's shortcomings, the important thing is how much these guys cared. The first movie was conveyor belt slop, one of 30 to 40 films they made within a single year. They took this sequel a lot more seriously and used their bigger budget to hire people to help.
You can't direct a film every 2 months and be as invested in the script and all of the different areas.
To write the script, they brought in Matt Leslie, who wrote Summer of '84. They had a frank conversation about the first movie's flaws, with Frank Waterfield reaching out to horror fans for specific feedback.
Reese had really spent his time taking all the information in from the first film, like feedback from fans and just people from all these different websites doing polls, because he really was like, I just want to make a film that people are going to love. It's just like for the people.
Christopher visits Aaron in the hospital.
You think he did this because he realized, hey, this one's making bank, so why not? So instead of like doubling down on it, they were like, okay, well, let's make sure we get this right. And honestly, I'll give them credit. They're actually doing pretty well so far. I mean, still a little wonky, but I think I can run with it. And the fact that he actually asked the horror fans for advice, I mean, you don't see that often. Like, normally when they're schlocking like 2 movies a month, like they said before, but here, they got a chance for a sequel, and they're taking every chance they get. And also, I'm not sure why, but I guess she saw the first film and was like, yeah, I got ravers to do. I don't want part of this. That's pretty much what I think happened, but I don't know. Anyway.
Who can't speak through his bandages, but lets Chris know he was right about the abominations. Christopher tries to get more out of him, but instead, Aaron unwraps his head to show off his 2009 Deadpool face. You know,
what is that, toothpaste?
Without
okay.
It's almost as upsetting as that janitor who keeps spying on him. Chris realizes the creepstodian is the man he saw kidnapping his brother, but he vanishes before he can chase him down. Meanwhile, Finn is taking a shower when he hears a noise outside. He wanders into his Euphoria-looking courtyard where he's jump scared by Owl, who tackles him to the ground. The bird upchucks all over him, and it ain't baby bird food.
That's acid?
It's acid that melts away Finn's face. The kill is capped off with a 2-talon stab and an artsy shower head shot that lasts, you know, just a bit too long. Christopher waits outside the hospital and watches the janitor punch out of his shift. He follows him back to his room with a view where he confronts him about the kidnappings. The janitor, whose name is Cavendish, reveals he was hired to kidnap the children to pay off his gambling debts.
I never knew what he wanted them, but at the time, I didn't care.
He was napping them kids for Dr. Arthur Gallup, who used them in his secret experiments.
Combining human and animal DNA edge.
Gallop ultimately hid his crimes by killing the kids in 100 Acre Woods. When Cavendish saw what he'd done, he killed Gallop and burned his house down. Lots of murder being described here, but since it mostly happened off-screen to characters we never met, I won't be adding them to the count. The only one I will add is Christopher's brother Billy. We did see that little guy in a flashback. Cavendish buried the kid corpses, but came back later to find the graves empty. 6 feet of dirt couldn't keep the crossbreeds down. The guy's been waiting for his reckoning ever since, so he hastens his ending in a way we're not allowed to talk about here on YouTube. Ain't that great? Boy, I love babyfying our videos about horror movies. Actor Simon Cowell had previously appeared alongside Chambers in 2023's Dr. Jekyll. He shot all of his scenes in a single day, which is insane considering he had multiple locations. Christopher scours over Gallop's notes and recordings, which are accompanied by cool animation as the doctor perfected his hybrid hypothesis.
In other words, it's working.
The tapes also reveal that crossbreeds can regenerate due to axolotl DNA. All right, shout out to axolotls. Dr. Gallop is voiced by Toby Wynn Davies, who did the opening narration for the first film. Across town, Lexi is being a cool babysitter, like Vicky from Halloween 2018. Her charge tonight is Freddy, a horror movie. Shit. Kids running around like Jason in a Freddy sweater.
It's like a horror version of Home Alone.
Nah, that's better watch out. Winnie 2, you're more like a, I don't know, sentimental terrifier? In any case, this kid's place is decked out with Pennywise clowns and, wait, is that Blade from Puppet Master? Or the Babadook? Oh, no, it's a jar of poison. That's lame. As is often the case, the babysitter hears a bump in the night. They hide in their Conjuring 2 tent and use their Peninsula RV to see what's going on. Oh wait, yeah, I never got to do the Peninsula episode. Damn you, copyright! They see that someone's tracked Pooh into the house, and he marches upstairs to do some damage. Lexi and Freddy manage to juke him and escape out front where the cops are already waiting. Oh yeah, Freddy's granddad is the officer from the RV site. It's all coming together, folks! The cops split up to search the house, but one officer gets hit with an Ursine blindside. Pooh proceeds to tear off her arm and beat her to death with it, ultimately stabbing her through the mouth with the arm bone. Wow, that kill is money, honey. Lexi calls Christopher to warn him that Pooh Bear's back, so he races off to protect his family. But Pooh's already at his house, somehow, where Daphne's doing dishes while Alan and Bunny have a little
that's the twin.
Alan is played by Alec Newman, who voiced protagonist Kaz in the horror game Still Wakes the Deep. Chelsea and I played through that whole ass thing on Dead Meat Presents. Check it out.
Now jump.
Oh, damn it, the blade! Fucking Christ!
Wow.
Daphne's loading the dishwasher like Stitches
Didn't
the
even land
Clown, which sucks, because Pooh Bear's here to Chucky her onto the blades. He stabs the knives in further, and then slams the mom down off screen. I love how inventive they got to make this
no kill graphic.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Alan leaves to investigate the noise, but when he doesn't come back, Bunny goes downstairs and encounters the big man himself. Christopher arrives and rushes inside, where he discovers his parents' bodies in the kitchen, revealed through traumatic flashes. More prompts to Scott Chambers here, who fucking goes for it in every scene. Chris checks upstairs for Bunny, but finds her missing, since she's been kidnapped by Pooh Bear. Kinda like how Golden Freddy took Mike's sister. Now Pooh's stalking a scantily clad warehouse rave with Owl. It's being thrown by Chris's childhood friends Ava and Kara, who disinvited him earlier due to his status as a maybe murderer. This rave's got lots of people bouncing around and feeling the glow like Naomi.
It's also got a bunch of topless chicks,
yet is somehow not really sexy at all. That's hard to do. Also, this scene is flashy as shit for the entire duration. So, sorry, epileptics, you're just not allowed to watch this part, I guess. Pooh shows up and murders his first raver with a pole through the mouth. The dude's bunny playmate tries to escape in slow-mo, giving us a 2-second summary of the entire film. Pooh chases her down and traps her head, then yanks it clean off her shoulder. And then he grand slams it into a cloud of gore? All right, Pooh Bear.
Again, Mortal Kombat.
Pooh proceeds to slaughter more partygoers, but we don't see any bodies to count yet. That'll be a problem for later. Ava and some ravers get chased into a dead end. We're kind of doing Texas Chainsaw 2022 here now, aren't we? They're cornered by the ultimate bouncer.
Hello, everyone.
It's Tigger, whose face looks too similar to Pooh's for my liking, but at least he's wearing a straitjacket.
And this tail.
He bounces around and begins his massacre by slashing one guy's throat before leaving another one's guts on the ground. One neon lady gets decapitated in shadow, while a fourth feathered victim is plucked to death. Chris hears police chatter about the murders and heads to the rave with Cavendish's gun. He gets to the warehouse and steps inside to find, shit. Is it
and here we
already?
go.
All right, hang on. We counted, I think, 23 bodies here. all victims of Pooh Bear's earlier rampage. Pooh's keeping the count going too, with Kara and her friends in this flickering hallway. He pulls a Megan and goes quadrupedal so he can werewolf run the ravers down, then kills 2 with a spiked baseball bat. Another girl trips and falls, leaving her open to a squishy head bashing. Back with Ava's group, Tigger's messing with one girl who's been blinded via ocular excavation.
Better watch where you go, bitch.
Oh yeah, Tigger loves to say bitch.
Come here, you fluorescent bitch.
It's another place where this movie straddles the line between ripoff and homage. After all, Chucky's never shied away from that word, and it's basically half of Freddy's vocab. No, not that one.
The other one, there you go.
The comparison grows more apt when Tigger drags his nails along the railing. In fact, all the abominations were meant to evoke classic killers. Winnie is the Jason Michael type, strong and silent, while Owl is more like the sadistic, loquacious Pinhead. Piglet, meanwhile, is more like Leatherface, which makes me feel even worse for his short shafting. Sweet boy. Anyway, the blind bunny can't see where she's going, so Tigger leads her to an open trap door, where she bonks her way down to death.
Jeez.
Wow, I fucking love the way that dummy fell. That was great. Ava tries to climb to freedom and spots Tigger below another partygoer. He stabs the raver through the floor grate, then grabs her by the,
chain?
Oh boy. It's an homage to Paris Hilton's floor stabbing in 2005's House of Wax. Tigger repeatedly stabs her from below, giving him a refreshingly warm blood shower. Tigger wasn't featured in the first movie since he wasn't introduced until the second volume of Winnie-the-Pooh stories. That book only entered the public domain in January 2024, which freed the tiger to come aboard the sequel as a full-fledged killer. He's played here by actor Louis Santer in a mostly practical suit, with the exception of his CG tail. Christopher searches the warehouse and comes across 4 more bodies in a bathroom
there we go
stall.
again.
It wasn't me. He enters the main room, sounding stuck on a toilet of his own. He gets jump-scared Rex style when Ava is tossed down from above. It gives Tigger a chance to sneak up on him, but Christopher responds by shooting his little tiger tongue. Ava tries to help out, but she's finished off with a slash. Chris is blinded by the blood spray and wastes the rest of his bullets as Tigger escapes from the scene and the movie. Chris runs off to look for Pooh Bear, who's currently killing another partygoer with a face punch. Kara and the surviving ravers tried to hide from Pooh, but one idiot hops into an industrial furnace like he were trying to find a sawtooth syringe. That goes just about as well as you'd expect, since Pooh winds up being the Homelander to his Vought scientist. Now we're doing tool stuff, I guess, as Pooh kills one girl with a power drill lobotomy that gets brains all over the bit. Then he pins another chick down and severs her head with a hacksaw. He ditches tool time faster than Pamela Anderson when he kills Kara by ripping her head off with his bare hands. Pooh Bear grabs a nearby chainsaw and heads out for a showdown and all right, I guess we're in the woods now. Christopher confronts Pooh.
Where is my sister?
But in response, Pooh attacks him with a chainsaw. What? Oh, a mother flaming
chainsaw. What?
The Mandy-style burning blade kicks off some minivan mayhem that Christopher only narrowly escapes. Lexi is all of a sudden here since she's been tracking Christopher's location. Talk about an invasion of privacy. There's another layer of stalking too, since she's been getting tracked by Owl.
I can see you witless bait.
The big bird flies away and, well, he never comes back. Yeah, I don't know where he goes. He just kind of fucks off for the ending, I guess. Chris is chased through the woods by Pooh, who's doing his best Leatherface impression. He manages to corner Chris, but stops short when he sees a nearby open grave. It's where Cavendish buried the murdered children, and a symbolic standoff finally confirms the twist you probably guessed by now. Pooh Bear is Billy!
No.
That's it. He's Billy.
Billy?
Yeah, Billy, you know. Christopher's brother! Chris tries to appeal to his twin's human nature, but there's no going back for him. Christopher saved last minute by Lexi, who takes a piglet back ride on Pooh. He tries to force Lex onto his still running chainsaw, but Chris interrupts with the axe he just found. As he charges, Pooh says his final and only words. You left. Wait, dude, fuck yeah! That's literally exactly what I asked for last time! You have him say one thing this whole movie and it's not, oh bother, it's you left? Man, I take it all back. This movie is actually perfect. Christopher cleaves Pooh Billy's head in half. And the bloody bear falls back into his old grave.
Well, for now.
Lex comforts the grieving Christopher and leads him out of the woods. They run into some approaching cops who happen to have found Bunny. That's convenient. Brother and sister reunite, and the movie ends as the trio's taken back home in the squad car. A mid-credits scene reveals Owl has collected Pooh and Piglet's bodies and taken them back to their forest hideout. Using some regenerative honey, Owl plans on growing his buddies back for the sequel.
We'll all be back for you. Christopher Robin.
Those sequels and crossovers are hinted at in the credits, where we see Rabbit, Pinocchio, and Peter Pan. They even take a group pic in Sleepy Hollow. Wait, except for Piglet? What, did they make him take the picture? Oh, little guy really gets shafted in these movies. Did Pooh 2 prove too cruel for the residents of Ashtown? Let's find out and bounce to the numbers.
Whoa! Oh, watch the studio! Hey! You good?
66 people died in Blood and Honey 2, with the victims consisting of 26 males, 33 females, and 7 unknown thanks to the rave and those body bags. This is a massive increase in kills compared to the original, and ties it number-wise with a single other kill count, Jordan Peele's Us. With a runtime of 100 minutes, Winnie 2 had a kill on average every 1.52 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to the blinded raver girl who fell through the trap door. There are bloodier kills, obviously, but I love the physics and sound effects of that dummy hitting the railing. Dollar for lamest kill will go to Alan, who was killed off screen with a body flashed by too fast for us to really see. And that's it. Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey 2 was released in 2024, and just like the original, turned a massive profit. This time I'll say, good for them. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count. 1 year ago, during the forgotten weird era of dead meat, Zoran Gavoyich did the first ever comic book kill count for Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
I guess it's true what they say. There are no original ideas left.
And James told him if it ever got over 1 million views, he could cover the sequel.
Yeah, fuck.
This week, figure out a way to read Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, the Nightmare Warriors. Then on the Friday before Election Day, witness Freddy's bid for president with the Kill Count, only on Dead Meat.
And there ain't a thing any of you can do to stop me. Ha 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 ha!
Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash.
This is gonna be interesting to say the least. So, I'll give them credit. They definitely improved to the last film, so good on them. Let me know what you guys think of the film. Honestly, yeah, well, this is pretty good. Bloody as hell. It restored some hope. And just the both of them. Nice. Anyway, till next time, like, subscribe for more. Let me know what you think of the film. See ya!